Okay, so I am going to start off with the noodle kind of part. I am using the Great Value shredded mozzarella cheese. That is the macros there. I like to make 4 at a time. So okay, so it's gonna be okay if there are some gaps in the kind of sections because it will spread out when it melts. In that sense, it's not going to spread out too much into each other, but you still want to make sure there's a little bit of room so that it doesn't connect with any of the other ones, but it's not going to kind of like become a blob like you may think. I do have these non-stick sheets. You'll want to get, if you don't have these, you'll want to use parchment paper, but I really like these because with keto there's a lot of things that kind of stick. So I just find that it's more cost efficient than getting parchment paper. So I'm going to put this in the oven for 350 and I will let you know how long it cooks for. Okay, so timing here is real critical. I just pulled this out of the oven. It's starting to brown around the edges. It was in there for 7 minutes. My oven is a little bit on the colder side, so it might take even less time for you. But basically, I want this to cool down a little bit, but not harden entirely. So I think with this size pan, I needed a bigger pan. So with this size pan, you want it to really lay flat, and these weren't. So I'm going to let it cool for a little bit. I'll let you know how long it takes, and then I will start folding. Okay, so while those are finishing up cooling, I am going to melt about 4 ounces of cream cheese. I want to put basically 1 ounce in each Rangoon. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time. Okay, so basically you want the cream cheese to be a little melty. We don't want any clumps in there. So that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to add green onion to this. I find that it tastes the best. I've tried, I think, white onion before. Haven't tried red onion, but you could obviously add whatever you want on the inside. I personally like green onion. That's about how much, did not measure, but you could put it to your liking, obviously. Okay, so these have been cooling for 5 minutes, and as you can see, they come up pretty easily. But they're not entirely cooled. That's what we want because we don't want them to harden. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my mixture into each of them. So that's how the first one looks. We definitely want to leave some space around the edges. So I'm going to fold it over. Okay, and I don't have to worry about sealing it because that will come when we put it in the oven the second time. Okay, so that is how it looks, and I'm going to put it in the oven for 1 to 2 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like after. Okay, basically you want to see the edges kind of folding down. So after a minute, you want to see the edges folding down and then just kind of close them. And then put them back in the oven for about 2 more minutes until the edges start crisping up to your liking. Okay, this is what they look like just out of the oven. I had mine in there, I think, for 3 more minutes. And I will let that cool before eating them.